Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DX Another Watch set from Kamen Rider Geo. I keep wanting to say Another Ride Watch set, but it's actually just called Another Watch set. So if you're familiar with the show at all, you know the main antagonists, the Time Jackers, use these watches to kind of create another versions of all the Heisei riders. So this first lineup has Build, Ex-Aid, Fourze, Fize, and Wizard. There's already two other sets. I think the second one's already out and the third one was announced, but it hasn't been released yet. And basically how this works is you get one deluxe ride watch and then you get 5 different faceplates. I guess just for cost-cutting measures, they decided that was the better way to go about it, but there's not 5 full watches in here. So you can only, if you're looking for this for display purposes, you can only display one of these guys at a time, unless you buy like 5 of each of these sets, but that's just bonkers. So anyway, here's the packaging, relatively small, pretty cool here on the top. I like the artwork, not too much going on the bottom there. On the side, it shows you the watch with the faceplates, shows how they work with, of course, the Jiku driver and the weapons, and then on the back, just another little bit of cool artwork here. So like I said, packaging very small. It's basically just the watch over here, and then the other 4 faceplates are kind of ordered on the side in a column. So very, very compact packaging, but I think it works. And I really like the artwork. I think it's pretty neat. I'm going to go ahead, get this all out of here, and we'll take a closer look. So here you go. You have the One Another Ride Watch, done in a very deep purple, which I think looks pretty cool. It is number 03, no, I think that's an 8. Well, let's check the QR code. Yes, 087. It's always nice to just be able to read the QR code. Sometimes these are a little difficult to make out. But yeah, 087. Here's the rail system. 2 buttons over here on the side. Button on the top does press. Batteries are included. So it comes with the Build Ride Watch already on here. And basically how this works, very simple. Turn this to the side, and then it just pops right off. So you can see underneath, it's just clear white. Just so the light can shine through. And then how these faceplates work, you can see very hollow on the inside, very basic, but they do the job. So here's Build, here's Ex-Aid, here is Fourze, here's Fize, and then here's Wizard. Wizard's really creepy to me. Those little eyes are very creepy. But basically we'll roll through these one by one, and I'll show you how this works. So when you want to put a new one on, you put it on sideways, and then you just click it into place. So we'll hit the button on top. So it says build, hit it again. You get kind of like a little generic sound effect there. Sadly, that's pretty much it for build. So if you hit the button again, it just cycles back around. So it's kind of 2 sounds per each one, and how this works. Go ahead, twist that, take it off. Next up, we'll put on Ex-Aid, sideways, click it into place. I think that's on all the way. And then you hold the button down to cycle to the next one. So you can hear it says Ex-Aid. You get a little bit of that video game sound effects that's common with Ex-Aid. So you can hear that the push-down cycle version of it saying Ex-Aid is slightly different from just the normal push-button version of it saying Ex-Aid. So I guess technically there's 3 sounds per rider, but they're not super different. So then there you go. That's it for that. So we'll turn this, pop it off. Next up we'll go with Fourze. I have to push the button down. So you can hear there that that sound effect, which I thought was unique to X8, is really just kind of a ride watch sound effect. So not too exciting there. All right, so there we go. Take off Forze. Next we'll do Fies. Hold it down. And then last but not least, Wizard. And then I'll come back around to build so you can hear the unique build sound when you push it down. So that's pretty much it. Not a ton for them to do with the individual faceplates, I gotta be honest. It's pretty much just the sound from holding the button down, the sound, and the two sounds from hitting the button those 2 times. So that's pretty much it for this, but we can use it with the GQ driver, so I'll go ahead and bring that in. Go ahead and just pop this on. So he says another time, it goes through the sound effect, and then it just says whatever rider you've kind of worked your way through by cycling through. And you can see the screen on the GQ drivers always says evil. Now, I could go through and show you with each different faceplate, but I'm not going to because honestly it gets kind of boring. The screen always says evil. He always says another time, and then it always just makes the same sound effect, but then says whatever name of the rider you're cycled through. So I am going to go ahead and do the attack, though. So he always says another, and then it just says time break. It does not matter which of the riders you're cycled through, which faceplate you have on. I mean, honestly, there's no way for it to ever know what faceplate you have on because that's not how it works. I was kind of hoping when this was first announced, there was going to be some kind of pin system that would be on the back of the faceplates, so that way when you pushed it on, it would know which one you have attached, but I guess that's too involved. So I get why they did it this way, but when it comes to using it with the GQ driver, the screen always says evil, it always says another time, and it always says another before it does the time break. The only difference is after you do the henshin with it, the watch will say the name of the rider, but you've kind of already heard that sound effect just from me cycling through them earlier, so it's not super exciting, but just to illustrate my point, I'll go ahead and do X8 just so you can see the difference. So as you can see, screen still says evil, still says another time. It just now says X8 at the end instead of build. The time break will always be the same. It'll just say another and then time break. It does have functionality with the weapons, so we'll go ahead and pop this right on here. So it just says another like it does in the Jiku driver. So I'll be honest, this set's a little disappointing. I've had some time to deal with it because I've learned what they've done, because it kind of came out a while ago, so I've had some time to live with it. But I don't know. I feel like there was more potential here. Usually with premium Bandai releases, they pack so many sounds and phrases from the show and all kinds of crazy stuff into these things that I'm kind of surprised that these are so light. I really feel like, okay, I understand you wanted to just do the faceplate with the one watch and you can cycle through, and that's fine. But I feel like when you cycle through, you should get more than just 2 sound effects for each faceplate. They could have done the pin system, but I understand why they didn't. It's probably more involved, and then there'd be a reader and all kinds of stuff, so that would be more difficult. I get that. But I do feel like you could use the push button to cycle through, but then you could probably put like at least 5 phrases in for each one, right? I really feel like I've had other premium Bandai releases that have a lot more phrases in them. Maybe it's a space issue, size issue, because the watches are so small. I'm not a, toy engineer. I don't know how that works, but I don't know. I feel like, I think the faceplates look good. If there's nothing else, I think the faceplates look good. The Another Rider designs are very cool, in my opinion, throughout the show. So I do like having the faceplates. There's not a great way to display them. They're tenuously balancing right now. I'm kind of surprised. Hopefully they don't fall over in the middle of this. But if you're buying these for display purposes, there's not a great way to display them all. You're only going to have the one watch, so you can only really display one perfectly at any given time, because you can only have one attached at one time. But I don't know. I guess my real complaint is the lack of sounds. I could forgive the faceplates if they just put more sounds into the watch. I just think that would have been a neater experience. I like that it has functionality with the weapons, and I like that it has functionality with the Jiku driver, of course. But even that's kind of limited. The screen says evil, which is cool. I didn't really expect it to say something different for each faceplate, because of course that doesn't make sense. There's only one rail system on the back of the watch itself, so of course it's going to say the same thing in the screen. And honestly, I don't think it would be better for it to say the name of the rider, because we already have watches that do that. So I think it's saying evil makes sense, and I do like that. It just would be neater if you had kind of a different attack sound depending on which rider you were using at the time, or maybe even just like a different henshin sound for each rider, or even just kind of a unique jingle when you're playing with the watch by itself. Like at first I thought that sound effect that was just the watch sound effect was specific to X8 because it kind of almost fit, but it turned out I was wrong. It's just a generic watch sound. So even if you were just playing with it and it had kind of a little different sound effect for each rider, other than just saying the different name of the rider. So I don't know. So like I said, maybe I'm just expecting too much. That's very possible. If memory serves, this set wasn't super expensive. I think before middleman fees and whatnot, it was somewhere in the area of like 25 to 30, which makes sense when you think that a deluxe ride watch on its own is like 15 before shipping. So I think it makes sense. The price isn't outlandish, but I think you're also getting what you pay for. I would have been happy to pay maybe an extra $10 or so to jam some more sounds into this thing, I think. But again, that's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. As far as a recommendation, I think it's really just, it's going to be up to you how much of a completist you are. And if you just love the Another Rider designs and you want this for display purposes, then I think it's fine. Just know what you're getting into as far as the sound limitations. So again, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.